painting. Okay, so now we can start working on the inside. The outside is a dark, right? And so that's last. Even though it's really, really big, we want to do that last. And so we can start to work in some of these areas on the inside of our avocado with that. So let's bring over some paint that we can utilize. A brush, water, paper towel. All these things are helpful. Let's start off by dumping some water. Ooh, that had some crud on it. Ooh, nasty. That had brown all over it. Okay, so I got a little bit of brown in the yellow. Don't tell anybody with that. And so I needed some of that. I may need some brown. I'll go and get some black ready and some purple. I'm thinking of the background actually. Oranges? I don't think we're going to hit any oranges or reds or blues on that one. Okay. So let's go in for, now in this particular view, it's blending right here. We have a full thing like that. Now we know that there's an edge that's going to be around here that's the light value of the avocado in the middle with those. So let's do this. Let's start out with a puddle. Okay, notice the puddle does not go all the way to the edge. And let's go back and get some of that, our favorite yellows that we have in there. And we're going to put some initial yellow in there. And then, using the tip of the brush, with that yellow, define the edge. In other words, use the tip of the brush to paint that boundary layer. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. And so I'm trying to create a puddle using that brush. And it may start to dry out, but it does have some initial stuff there. Let's get a little bit more water, because I want this to be kind of a soggy puddle. And to get the color we want, it was a mixture of our yellows and our greens, and I think it's going to actually get just a little darker on top here. Okay, so now we have a good puddle and we have a good boundary established. Now, okay, well, I got it here. Green, I just want a little bit of green. And just tickle the tip on this one. And I want it kind of on this edge right over here. Now I also want it to blend in quite a bit. Now I'm going to go back and get some water. Okay, so now that I have my water, I'm going to mix this green, this little bit of green that I have, just by doing some scrubbing. I'm going to mix that together so we can have the inside of the avocado. And really, the value change from the inside of the avocado to this outside of the avocado where the pit used to be, notice that that's really blending in, but it is leaving just a little bit of green on the edge. And that's cool. That's what I wanted to have happen. Kind of like that. So that was pretty cool. Awesome. And if I need to, I'm going to just pull a little bit of this puddle out. And I'm going to let that dry. And so that has a good, this is real similar, right? These were similar in here. This was so identical that they matched, right? So with working with that, we know that it's going to be very, very similar on these sort of things here. And as such, I have it very, very similar in color. But I've gathered just a little bit of green, a touch of green around the edge, so that I'll have it different from side to side. Now, on the edge, on the shadow edge, since this is more of a cast shadow rather than a blended sort of shadow thing, I don't really need to have that spread too far. I can have more of a hard edge on the shadow area that I'm going to be painting up in this area here with those. So let's bounce over to, I'm going to leave this little area right here white. Let's go to the other side. And I wanted a little bit of brown. So on the top of my tray I had some residual brown that I was using, right? And so I'm going to get a touch more there. And I'm concerned about this color here in this area. Now I have two options. One, I could paint the whole thing and then put another layer on top. That's option number one. But let's just do this. Let's just paint the area we're looking for. And so I have some of the brown paint in there. And it's going to come down in this area. Now I may put just a little bit more pigment. I think I want just a little bit more pigment in here. And then this kind of transitions back over this direction. And it's a rough edge. Leave the white in the middle. Rough edge, rough boundary on all of them. Rough edge on the white that we're leaving. Rough edge on the other. And I'm going to take just the tip of the brush and I'm going to come around this side just a little bit, like that. It's easier to pull your brush than to push your brush. If you overlap, that's okay. I like overlapping. Okay, kind of like that. See, do we need a little more? Let's put a little more in there. As far as a little more pigment, right? Just because it can be a little bit more splotchy. And just tippity tappity tippity tip. Okay, awesome. That worked out really, really well. Now it doesn't look like anything. I know it doesn't look like anything, but that's okay for it not to look like, because it's gradually starting to look like something. Now it kind of looks like a half a thing. And so if we can develop into where it looks like a whole thing, then we'll be sitting pretty on what it is we're trying to do with those. And so, but now I got to let it dry. So move this one up, move it one over, move it out. Now remember that other thing that we had that we were working with, this guy over here. On that, let's do that. I'm going to kill this a little bit here.